What's up, people? It's your man, Urban Lover, coming from your mama's basement, baby. I'd like to talk to you for a minute. Can I talk to you for a minute? Can you just take time out of your busy time and just really listen in? What I want to do is I want to address the hate for certain Lakers players. And the hate is so real, it's ridiculous. Like, I shared in one of my videos about the a situation where you can't talk to a person that already made up their mind they're just going to hate a player regardless. The reason why I say this is because one thing I do is, not only do I always go and dig up information or do a little research on the players and all that, but I also read the comments, not only on my channel, but on other Lakers channels as well. And I try to follow certain individuals. And I'm not saying I'm stalking you, don't never think that. But the reason why I do this is because I just want to see how much hate do you have. Now, this is my biggest problem. All throughout the time I made these videos, I always critique every player on that team, even down to the coach in the front office. Always did. But one thing I always do is that I always drop respect for them when they do have good games, to a degree. Now, what I mean by that, I said a little something about Randall. You know, certain players, certain fans came out, Randall had offense, but not once did they ever say anything about his defense. All they focus on was just the 32 points he scored, the 8 points, the 8 rebounds, whatever you want to call it. But now focus on the defense. And I even, in my video, I gave him credibility for his offense of scoring 32 points. But I also critiqued his defense. Same thing with D'Angelo Russell. I said D'Angelo Russell should be a 2, but because we don't have a point guard, Lou should try him at the point, based on the fact just to see what we got going into off season. I've been saying it at the beginning of the season, D'Angelo Russell is not a point guard, he's a 2. He probably played much better at the 2 position because he seemed like he played better off the ball. A lot of fans disagree with me. Some fans wanted, decided to make it, make him be a point guard, and so the coaches as well. Before Luke Walton came there, and I stated before, I said D'Angelo Russell, and this is way back in one of the videos. I said D'Angelo Russell, his biggest problem is that he shows lack of effort when it comes to playing defense. Some games he played aggressive. Before, when we had a 10-game winning streak, well, not a 10-game winning streak, when we were 10-10, and he played pretty good defensively, physical. I said it before. I said I said D'Angelo is a better man-to-man defender than JC. JC is more off the ball defender. Getting to preventing his man from getting the ball a lot. But when it comes to man-to-man, D'Angelo is much better than him. And I'm a big JC fan. Not saying that I love JC, where I'm gonna be like, ignore all the things that, just ignore all the weakness and only focus on the strength. So going to my point, what I want to state is this. When you're dealing with a biased fan. And the reason why I say this is because when an individual does good, there's no comments. Or say for instance, an individual had one good game. He had one good game leading to the 3 good games or whatever it may be, but just that one good game. The individual will come out and he'll say something negative like, well, this is just one game, or look at the team they play, blah, 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 stuff like that. And this is my problem. Like, when you just got so much hatred in your heart for an individual and you don't even know the individual, that's a serious problem, man. Like at the end of the day, we are Laker fans. We're not, a lot of us don't even have stock in this team to even justify some of the things that the front office do and stuff like that. All we basically doing is giving our opinion, meaning that we're just basically stating on what we think that the front office should do and what they should not do, what the players should do and what they should not do. This is the whole point of analysts, commentators, newscasters. If we can't critique play, and that's another thing, a lot of players, not players, but fans, they fail to realize they kind of get the word bias and critique, like it's the same word, that it has the same meaning, but it doesn't. Critiquing is, basically all you're doing is basically talking about the strength and weakness of a player. Does that mean you hate a player? No. The only way you can really show that you really have animosity towards that player, if your main focus is always that player, like your whole conversation is about that player, then you have some type of problem towards that player. And my thing is at the end of the day, and I've been telling guys over and again, I told Don Tizzle this, I told DeAndre Page, I told Mike from Laker Talk, Eddie Starr, whoever I talked to throughout my comments, I told guys, I'm not going to critique the players until this season right here, because we don't have no Kobe, there's no Byron Scott, there's no excuse. And I said critiquing everybody from the front office on down to the water boy. And that's what I've been doing since I've been making this channel. I critique everybody. Now, there might be certain situations where I might praise a player, only based on the fact that they had a good game. And the reason why I do that, because I get tired of hearing all the D'Angelo Russell hate. It is just ridiculous. Like, I'm not a big D'Angelo Russell fan. I'm not even a big Nick Young fan. And I give Nick Young more praise. When everybody was talking about get rid of Nick Young, I was like probably the only person that was saying like keep Nick Young. Keep him. That's at the beginning when we were actually playing for a reason. We were winning. Nick Young looked good. Lou Williams looked good. I was the only person saying keep Nick Young. You know, and I said because Nick Young will fit in Lou Walton's system. And I said this way before the season even started, way before the preseason even started. I said Nick Young will flourish in Lou Walton's system because Lou Walton loves to shoot the three ball. That's his whole point of his offensive scheme is to, you know, get guys on the perimeter to bang the three. And then I go and I try to tell individuals, if you watch from preseason, and I can go back to this even on preseason, even in summer league, I knew for a fact that D'Angelo Russell was going to be used as a point guard. And that's why I had problem with Luke Walton's system way before at the beginning of the season. But a lot of fans ain't see that because they were so caught up into the Luke Walton hype. And I noticed, and you go back to the summer league, when Larry Nance was bringing the ball down during the summer league, I said right there, him and Brandon Ingram, I knew right then there, I said, you know what? Luke Walton ain't going to run D'Angelo Russell as a point guard. He gonna play off the ball. I mean, he probably had the ball majority some of the time, but not all the time. Because when I seen Larry Nance bringing the ball down, I knew right then and there Luke Walton is basing that system around Golden State. And I told people that way when I first started making videos when Luke Walton first got hired. I said he gonna run the same system Golden State run. You know, he gonna try to make them guys into Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry. You know, and everybody's like, oh, Urban, you know, they're not that good. I know this, but that's what Luke Walton in his mind thought that, you know, this is what I can get out of these players. And I feel like, and I've been saying this, and now people say, you know, I talk bad about Randall, blah, blah, blah. Listen, the only thing I really say about Randall is this. I said Randall has lack of defense, but who doesn't when that team had defense? The only person to me on that team that has defense is Larry Nance. I've been saying this. Larry Nance is probably the best defender on that team. Brandon Ingram to a degree, you know, but Larry Nance is always the one I would give praise to when it comes to defense because he plays extra hype when he get on that floor when it comes to defense. That's why I say Larry Nance should play center. If he's going to go small ball, not Julius Randle, because Julius Randle is not a strong defender on that aspect. And people are like, oh, well, you know, this, nah. And my thing is that everybody was just focused on offense and never focused on defense. Defense has always been our heel. You know what I mean? Like, it has been our worst heel because we don't have no defense. The perimeter defense suck. And you'll go back in my videos back when I was talking about D'Angelo Russell about his defense. You know, D'Angelo Russell fans came out, he got to play defense. I said, no, he played good man to man when he wants to play. You know what I'm saying? And I told people that. Oh, no, he plays good defense. He does this and that. I said, no. And that's why I'm trying to say that when you have love for certain players, it's hard for you to actually have a conversation or somewhat a debate with an individual because they will not see what you see. Because why? They have too much love for that player. That's like me when I love Magic Johnson. When I was growing up, Magic Johnson was my idol, and I used to sit there and I have conversations with people. Magic Johnson, you know, Magic Johnson, no, I don't want to hear that, my man. Magic Johnson's good. He got good. He played good defense, blah, 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 blah. And I would always try to defend Magic, even though I knew in my heart that Magic Johnson wasn't okay in certain areas, but I would try to defend it because that was my idol at the time. I had to break free of that mentally, so I don't look at players as my idol, as an idol no more. I look at them as players, you know, and I look at this as a business. And I'm looking at it from a business standpoint and saying that at the end of the day, I know a lot of players say trade this player, trade that player, bring this player, bring that player. The biggest problem with Laker fans is this. Number one, y'all don't have no patience. Stop lying to yourself. A lot of you say, oh, I got patience. No, you don't. Because if you had patience, you wouldn't be sitting there after this season, right? Y'all already talking about get rid of players. Knowing that I told people this year is their rookie year for all of them. Why? Because like I said before, there's no Kobe, there's no Byron Scott. And I told players and fans told me to be patient. You know what I mean? At the beginning of the season, I said, no, I'm patient. I just critique them. Critiquing doesn't mean I want to get rid of them. Critiquing is that I'm hoping that they work on these certain areas to get better in. That's what I say. That's what people fail to realize. Critiquing them is like, okay, I hope they watch these videos to know that, well, maybe I'm having problems here in this area. Let me fix it. It's the same thing when you talk to your supervisor. And he said, well, you know, you're good here. You know, you're a good worker. Your biggest problem is that you're always late for work. So it's not saying I'm going to get rid of you. It's basically saying, like, fix that one problem and you're a perfect worker. And not saying perfect, but in a sense, but at the end of the day, it's like bettering yourself to put yourself in a position to move up into the next rank or the next level. And that's all I mean at the end of the day is that understand the difference between being biased and critiquing players. And in that case, if you say that I'm biased or whatever you want to call it, then that means the analysts are biased, the commentators are biased, the news report, everybody is biased. You know what I'm saying? No, it's critiquing. That's all it is. And that's the whole reason why I make videos, because my thing is to come out there and critique what I see on the court, whether it's good or bad. I'm not worrying about people's feelings or emotion. You know what I mean? The Most High has no respect to person, so why should I be? And I'm just saying not to be disrespectful, but what I'm saying to you guys at the end of the day, that's what I do. I critique. I don't care if you get mad. Like I said, when I critique individuals, I back it up with evidence, to prove to you that, hey, you're not paying this. Like a lot of times I done threw up links, and some fans say, oh, well, that's too long for me to read, or I'm not reading that. So that lets you know where you stand, because your mind is already made up that you're going to, hate the player regardless. And the reason why I say that, because when I made that video about D'Angelo Russell, and I made that little song at the beginning about, now they're going to come out smiling and, because they got something to say now. But when D'Angelo Russell had that 8-game winning streak, not winning streak, but 8-game streak of him doing pretty good, nobody said anything. You ain't hear anybody. They said something the first 2 games. Oh, that's just the first game, the second game. Oh, look what they played. But when he kept building it up, then people were like, oh, well, they ain't say nothing. It was quiet. That's what I mean by that. You know what I'm saying? My problem is this: when a player plays good, if you're a real Laker fan, you should be saying, you know what, hats off to that guy. He played good. And you can say, well, he still got to work on his defense. That's not being like you're being biased. The point is that you're just critiquing certain elements in his game that he need to work on. That's all. We all know the Lakers can score. Any of them can give you 20 points any given night. This is a proven fact. But the problem is with the Lakers, and I've been saying over and over again, is the defense. Everybody and their mother knows this. So when I critique a certain individual, it's not about me being biased or hating on people, or as somebody say, and excuse me for my French because I don't curse, but for somebody to say that I got my finger up Russell ASS, that's bull crap to me. One thing about me, like I said, that just lets you know that a lot of people just get on, they actually just come to your channel, they don't watch the video, they look at the title and just go it off in the comment section. That's how I look at it at the end of the day. Or they read what other people say in the comment section and just follow up according to the comments and don't really watch the video. Some people say, well, it's too long. Hey, listen, you sit in school for what, 6-7 hours, so that means you're not even learning anything in that time span. You just in there and you nodding off. You ain't got half of the things that the teacher has said, because why? Your memory, your brain have a short span on it, that you're not getting all the information that's valuable in order for you to have a good discussion about certain situations, events, or places, whatever it may be. So all I'm saying today, guys, there's nothing wrong with critiquing players. Just because I critique a player doesn't mean I hate a player. Okay, let's get that right. If you notice, the only person, I will say it again, the only person I said that the Lakers should have traded was Lou Williams, and that's what happened. And the reason why I say that is only because I wanted to see D'Angelo Russell show his worth. I wasn't hyped about D'Angelo Russell. I was never hyped. Laker Nation, stay tuned, can tell you I was never hyped about D'Angelo Russell. I was always your local forward, that's because I'm so to the tradition of the big man. I didn't know nothing about D'Angelo Russell, and I was pissed off when they got him, and at the beginning, I was one of the guys that actually talked bad about him before I started making videos on Mike Lakers Talk Video. I was like, he sucked, blah, blah, blah. But I said, you know what, let me stop doing that, because I sound like a big kid, crying because I didn't get my cookies and chip with sugar on it. So that's my thing at the end of the day. So I critique everybody, whether you like it or not. It is what it is. That's what I do. Hey, you know what? I'm not getting paid for this, and neither are you. So all I'll tell you guys at the end of the day is this: stop being biased to certain individuals, but start showing love to them when they have a good streak of games going, not just one good game, and then die away for 3 or 4 games, and that's all of them. Like I said, a lot of it had to do with emotions, a lot of it had to do with them growing up. That's why I say the Lakers need a mentor. They need somebody that's going to put a fire under their butt, because I really believe that all of them have potential, but they just haven't reached it yet. And I know a lot of people say that JC's he's to the ceiling. I don't think he's to the ceiling. I think he's just starting to really realize how good his game is, to be honest with you. Some guys, it might take them to 28 to actually really get good, believe it or not. I done seen it. I've been watching the freaking NBA since back in the freaking early 80s. Early 80s, yeah, early 80s, the beginning of the 80s. So I done seen it. So that's my thing, and that's the reason why I love doing what I do, because I love the game of basketball, and I love talking about it, and I love talking to you guys, and I ask you guys, just be respectful. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with us debating or disagreeing, but come on, man. Come on now. I'm not a biased individual, dude. If that's the case, then you ain't been watching my videos, because I get on all of them. When they have a bad game, I don't care. I didn't even get on JC and Larry Nance. Yep, I do, when they don't show. I talk about Larry Nance need to take more shots and stop being passive, especially when the shots are open for him. Go to the basket. JC, stop taking the 3-pointers. Get to the paint, young man. I says this. Why? Because I love my team, and that's the reason why I speak what I speak. Anyway, you guys have a blessed day. It's the Friday. Get drunk. No, don't get drunk, because some of you guys get too drunk and don't know how to act. Anyway, love you guys. Have a blessed day. Take care. And as always, it's your man Urban signing out.